What's good, y'all? Yeah, this is your boy Tony Sway, hopping on a live for a few minutes here. Let me know who's in the building. You know what I mean? Got the fit on, gotta do it, gotta stay in character, you know what I mean? Yeah, so, well, I'm gonna be talking about toxic R&B versus the romantic R&B era. And I feel like standing up today, so I'm standing up. Let's talk about the toxic R&B era. What's good, Giovanni? Appreciate you. Let's talk about the toxic R&B era, which is now, versus the romantic era of R&B. Which is better? What do you all prefer? What does everybody prefer? Do you prefer the romantic era of R&B, which was really the 80s, the 90s, the early 2000s was still the romantic era of R&B? Or do you prefer the new toxic era of R&B? Was good. Yes, sir. I appreciate you. Absolutely. That's going way back, bro. The Motown era, that's going way back. Most of us wasn't even born yet for sure. But that obviously that's one of the main golden eras is the Motown. Shout out to Smokey Robinson, Temptations, and Diana Ross, and all Marvin Gaye, all that. You know what I mean? If y'all just tuning in, make sure you get your super chats in, or at least like and share on the video. I'll be more likely to respond if you show your boy a donation. All I got is check out the refrigerator, y'all. Y'all gonna clown me. All I got is Perrier water. That's it. I need y'all donations. All I drink is water, y'all. That's why I lost weight, because I ain't barely eating. So send me a donation before I go upside your head. Yeah. Don't get it twisted. T-Sway, I can fight. People think because I'm light skinned, I won't go upside your head. I really do go upside head. You know what I mean? I'm a lot more crazy than people think. I make soft R&B, but I come from a very rough family. I'm just playing with y'all. No, I'm in real life. I'm a real nice person, man. So I love everybody. I just like to play around. I like to play around a lot. Yes, sir. So from this point forward, I ain't reading nothing unless y'all donate. I ain't going to read your I'm not going to read the chats unless y'all donate. So show some love to your boy T Sway. I'm not having people saying they support me and not show any love. So take out them pockets, right? Get out your wallet, because I'm trying to make streaming a part of what I do, right? Because I guess streaming is this new generation. Everybody wants to see everybody live. So if I'm going to chop it up with y'all, I'm going to charge you. So take out that credit card and run that super chat in, or we ain't speaking. I ain't as humble as people think I am. I want money, bro. Give me my paper. Give me my Fetty. Thank you. I appreciate you. Shout out to Button Creations. I appreciate you. So be like Button Creations, and I will read your chats, because I got kids, y'all. I make R&B music. I got kids. I got to feed them kids. So I know y'all feel me out there. All I got is water up in this refrigerator. You know what I mean? No, I'm a natural born comedian, y'all. You know, I'm a very funny person. I like to laugh a lot, so don't take me too seriously. I like to laugh, and I like to have a good time. So I like to clown, but I appreciate y'all rocking with me. But I need to know what you guys think about today's modern R&B compared to the old school era of, you know, the 80s, the 90s, the early 2000s. Because right now we have an era of R&B. Everything is more toxic R&B, right? And we've seen people even like a Chris Brown make that transition from the, you know, more romantic love songs Never the Right Time to Say Goodbye. Those kind of records. We've seen artists like Chris Brown transition into the more, I guess you could say, toxic R&B, where it's more just about hookup culture and kind of just toxic relationship kind of topic. So Chris Brown got his start when it was still somewhat the romantic R&B era, right? We had people like Bobby V, we had Usher, all those guys were kind of in their prime. We had Mario. It was still the romantic cupcake R&B era in the early 2000s. But you've seen people like a Chris Brown transition from the romantic era successfully into the toxic era, which is more about the hookup culture, more about, just kind of more drama, R&B songs, toxic relationship kind of subject matter. I want to know what y'all prefer. Do you prefer the romantic era, or do you prefer this toxic era? What do you guys appreciate the most? Got you. And like my man Button Creations, I will respond if y'all drop that super chat. Your boy needs to eat. All I have is water. People ask me, how did I drop so much weight since the last 3 years? I ain't eating, bro. I'm a starving artist. What's the term, starving artist? I ain't eating, bro. That's why I've dropped weight, because I'm a starving artist. I really do this. I really do. Like, I literally get rich and I spend it all, and then I'm broke again, and then I'm back up again. That's how a lot of musicians live. That's how we live. I buy all my equipment, trying to make the music to make everybody happy, and then people steal your stuff, right? I spend tens of thousands of dollars all for MFs to steal my hard work. Ain't that a mug? Could you imagine that, spending $50,000 on music, all for people to steal your stuff, man? What's the point of that? Then you go broke, and then you living out of somebody's basement, and then you get a placement, and it blows up, and you got a couple dollars again, and still MFs don't want to show you any support, right? But you're seeing the Spotify, and you get millions of plays. Something's not adding up, right? No, I speak out for all artists, man. Like I said, I like to joke around, y'all. So don't take me too seriously. I'm a wild boy. I like to laugh a lot. So don't take me seriously. But, with me, I've been doing this music for years. Luckily, I'm still here, and I'm appreciative. Shout out to all y'all support. I truly do appreciate y'all. And but for those people that just want to take my stuff, I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you, T-Sway. Coming for you, Mike Tyson. I'm coming for you. No, I'm just playing. I shout out to Mike Tyson, man. I love Mike Tyson. Y'all, hey, any Mike Tyson fans up in here? Mike Tyson, man. Mike Tyson's always been a hero of mine. He has that heart. He's made it through a lot, and he's doing really well now. So shout out to Mike T, man. We love Mike Tyson. It's good, So yeah, if you're just tuning in, we are discussing the toxic R&B era versus the romantic R&B era. And I got my Perrier water, because that's all I got, y'all. I don't eat no more, because people decided not to support me. So I just got to drink water now. I'm working for free, y'all. Nah, I'm just playing. No, shout out to all the super chatters. I appreciate y'all. All the people buying my beats. No, I have plenty of supporters. But I like to mess with y'all, man. I got to mess with you guys. I truly appreciate y'all, for real. Tens of thousands of people have supported my beats and bought tracks over the years, and have kept a roof over my head. So I'm very grateful. But I got to play around sometimes, because that's just the way that I am. I like to play around. I like to laugh. So that's just the way it is. I appreciate you. Button Creations, you said, I make beats, just started 3 years ago. Music is your passion. Hey, man, shout out to you. That is what's up. Music is where it's at. I'll be completely honest with you guys about music. To do it, I've been doing it since 2000, and I've been doing it full time since 2010, and it's been the most beneficial for me personally. But there a lot of things people won't tell you when you do music full time is it does come with a lot of ups and downs. Now, that does happen in the typical job world. Most people are not in the same job for 15 years. People get laid off. Things happen, right? So most of the people that I know just locally in the last 15 years, they've had probably like 10 different jobs plus. So that's just life in general. But I've been blessed to do this music full time ever since about 2010, 2011. So it's been a blessing, but it hasn't come without ups and downs, right? I've had big highs. I've had tracks on my, song Climax get 14 million views. I've had stuff like that. I've had gold records from, Cookie Kawaii featuring Tyga, stuff like that. So, and several independent artists supporting my music over the years. So shout out to y'all. But on the flip side, I've made, decent money. I wouldn't say like crazy, but you can, like, for me, somebody at the level that I'm at, you can make it in the 6-figure realm, but then you can also fall off completely. You might make 150K, which is decent money, not rich money, but decent money. But then the next year you only make less than half of that, or barely even half of that, and then you broke. So that's been my experience doing music. It's then you do well. You're either doing well or you're not doing like super great. But that's just the real. A lot of musicians won't tell you the truth. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I've been up, down, up, down, up, and that's just the reality. This year is an up year for me. Last year wasn't that great. This year's been great so far. A lot of supporters, publishing checks coming through. So this year's been a good one. Last year was kind of a fall off year for me. So it is what it is. It just comes with the territory. I appreciate everybody commenting right now. But if you truly support your boy, make sure you drop that super chat. Drop that super chat. Drop that. I need you quickly. Y'all remember that J. Cole skit? He goes, I need you quickly. It was like a preacher doing the donate. Shout out to all my Christians out there. God bless. But yeah, I need y'all quickly. I need you to support that T-Sway, support the page. Yay. Come on, support the page. Show some love. You know what I mean? I've been doing this for you guys for years. Put that money down. Put your money where your mouth is, boy. Put some money on my books. Who would put money on if I got locked up for something crazy, like nothing crazy. If I got locked up for like tax evasion or something, who's putting money on my books? No. On a side note, I just paid off my taxes after I've been in a 10-year battle with the IRS. Finally paid them off like 6 months ago. So that's been amazing. Any musicians out there who make money full time, you know what I'm talking about. Taxes suck. I learned how to write off just about everything. I write off my studio space, everything. It gets written off. I owe zero to the IRS now. So shout out to my tax guy. For real. That's true story, y'all. I was in debt to the IRS for the last, ever since 2016, really. And because I just didn't know, I didn't come from a situation where people had money. So once I got my song Climax blew up, got a couple dollars into my pocket, and I was like, whoa. And I just started buying, I started buying cars, Mercedes, and just spending. And then all of a sudden you owe all this money to the IRS. And I was like, so I was on a payment plan with the IRS for like a good 10 years. And I finally paid them off like about 6 months ago. So that's the real, y'all. I'm just keeping it real. A lot of people be lying. I'm just going to keep it real with you guys. Man, I appreciate you. ESSCCE. Czar, I appreciate you. You said, do you have someone making sure you get your publishing? Well, I have BMI. So I'm signed up for BMI as my pro. And then I have a administration deal from Cobalt, but it is just for one record. So I have an admin deal for Cookie Kawaii Vibe. which is close. That's close to recouping, to be honest with you. So they, I'll be honest. So they gave me back in 2021. They gave me 75K advance, that was the most money I ever had in 1 month. I've never seen that kind of money before, but they gave me a 75K advance in January 2021, and I owe like I'm 16,000 I owe before it recoups, but I have all my songs registered under BMI. So I would recommend BMI, ASCAP, or CSAC. They're great places to register your music. Specifically, if you have songs out there right now that are, that are on Spotify, Apple Music, that would be the best time to register your music. Or if you're doing any kind of sync, if you get your music in sync licensing deals like TV, film, you definitely want to get those songs registered. If they're just sitting on your hard drive, then obviously you don't need to register them yet. But I would register them if you're putting them out on platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, that kind of thing. And also register them. If you have artists that you're producing for, make sure you register those songs with that artist under like a BMI, ASCAP, or like a CSAC if you're in America. I think if you're like in the UK, I think they have some different publishing companies. Man, I really appreciate you guys. A lot of people tuning in today. I appreciate you. A lot of people in the chat. I appreciate y'all. And hey, we got 2 donations today. Man, I truly appreciate you, Czar and Button Creations. Man, anytime that people show support towards what I'm doing, it's always an amazing feeling. I've been at this for a while. I've been doing this music for a while. And it hasn't been easy. As I shared, I'm transparent. It hasn't been easy. I've been up and I've been down, and I've been up and I've been down. And a lot of people will just say they were down once and now it's been on up. It hasn't been like that for me. I've made good money. I fell off, and then I've came back, and then I fell off again. And this year, luckily, I'm on a comeback. This year has been great. So, but last year wasn't so great, but that's just life. You get back up and you keep trying, especially in this music. You gotta keep putting your best foot forward. You gotta keep putting your best music forward. That's what you gotta do. Bud Creations, I appreciate you. Good advice. I have some music on BMI. Absolutely. BMI is what I have, and I've never missed a payment from them ever. They're on time. Their quarterly payments have always been on time. Sometimes they even come early. Sometimes the payments are even early. So I've had no issues with BMI. So shout out to BMI. They've been very good. Yeah, man. So I'm standing up for this live stream because I feel like it gives me good energy. I like to move around. You know what I mean? So, but if you're just tuning in, we're discussing the toxic R&B era versus the romantic era. And I can tell you what I prefer, but I really want to see you guys discuss amongst yourself what you prefer. Do you prefer the old school romantic songs of like the Boyz II Men, the new editions, the I'll Be Sure, that era of music, the Babyface era? Like Babyface was like really, really that sensitive R&B era where it was all about your feelings and meaningful. Every time I close my eyes, I think about you, featuring Babyface, featuring Mariah Carey. Those are the kind of records when I would go to my friends' weddings, they were playing Babyface records. They were playing KC JoJo All My Life records. They were playing records like that were the songs that you would hear at weddings. And that would be the romantic R&B era. Even Jodeci is part of the romantic R&B era. Even though they would be classified as more of the R&B thug, they were still singing love songs. Maybe not every single one, but a lot of their songs were love songs. So if you think about Jodeci's biggest hits, Forever My Lady, love song. It's, bad boys singing the love song, but still a pure love song. Talks about So You're Having My Baby, means so much to me, love song. And then if you think about Jodeci's their biggest hits, a lot of their biggest hits were love songs, even though they had the bad boy image. So you got Forever My Lady, you got Love You for Life. Those, you know, those kind of records, right, were really just pure love songs that you hear at weddings. And that's what it was. So that was the romantic era of R&B. You had I'll Be Sure, Night and Day, romantic era, Boys to Men, On Bended Knee, romantic era, Janet Jackson, with her, you know, she had the emotional ballads like Come Back to Me. That's the romantic era, you know what I mean? And yeah, all those, you know, those kind of records like that, man, that was really the romantic era. Boys to Men, Janet Jackson, New Edition, Ralph Tresvant, I'll Be Sure, you know, Usher's early, you know, his early work and all that. And especially, we can't talk about romantic R&B without mentioning Babyface, obviously. So we had Babyface, we got Babyface. But let's think about today's modern R&B singers. There's this guy. Have you guys heard about this dude? This dude named David. This little R&B dude named David. What I am gonna say, apparently R&B dudes are murking people now. I can't say the word on YouTube. I'm not gonna say no cuss word. I want my monetization. But apparently, you know, he did the unthinkable to his girlfriend. So, you know, he hasn't been tried yet, but it's if you look at his catalog, look up the R&B singer David. He literally has songs about doing the unthinkable to his girl, and now she's gone now. Rest in peace to that young lady. But now we got R&B dudes doing the unthinkable we come from the era where it was all about doing all you can for your girl, romantic, treat your girl right, Freddie Jackson type ish, you know what I mean? But now we're in the era of people literally doing the unthinkable, and they sing an R&B at the same time. But I guess his version of R&B, it was anything but traditional. It was not romantic. It was his R&B was beyond toxic. It was, more violent art, which he kind of had his own subgenre, because if you listen to his songs, they were very, very kind of like they kind of disturb you a little bit. So I couldn't even finish listening to the catalog because it was kind of disturbing. But man, that's unfortunate. I won't talk about that too much, but that's more of the extreme. So I don't know if you guys have heard about that, but I'll go right over that because it's kind of negative, you know what I mean? So, but it happened, it's going on. So you'll probably see it in the news, if not from me. But man, today we are talking about the toxic era of R&B versus the romantic R&B. So I want to see what y'all thoughts are about it. But I can tell you right now, I prefer the old school era. But again, I'm in my early 40s. So that's the era that I come from, the Babyface, the New Edition, the I'll Be Sure, the Boys to Men. That's the era I come from, the Mariah Carey, if you will. And that's the era that I'm from. So that's what I prefer. I prefer the real emotional songs that really had more meaning. You know, every night in my headphones, I'm listening to Janet Jackson, Come Back to Me. I'm listening to that Rhythm Nation. I'm listening to that Night and Day, In Effect Mode. I'm listening to, that John B. Cool Relax. I'm listening to the Mariah Carey. I'm listening to the Whitney Houston. I'm listening to that to me, that was the golden era for me. And that's what I listen to. The modern day R&B that's more toxic, I'll definitely listen to it every now and then, but it doesn't stick with me as much. It doesn't stick it doesn't stay in my subconscious like the older songs. They stay in my subconscious, and they just stay in my spirit. I don't know what it is, but they just stay in my spirit. And some of the newer stuff, I tend to forget it after I've listened to it, which is unfortunate. But that's not to say that there isn't new stuff that isn't popping. Like I said, I'm still a big fan of Chris Brown. I'm a big fan of people like Sabrina Claudio. I like what Daniel Caesar's doing. Who else is a new arm? I've always loved Jean Aiko. I've always loved her music. So these are more of the obviously modern day R&B. They kind of do a mix of toxic R&B, but it's mixed in there with kind of baby making R&B. Not too much romance though. There's not too much romance going on. So that's what it is. And if you guys are just tuning in, make sure if you want me to respond to your comments, you got to drop a super chat. That is my new rule. I'm going to respond only to the people that donate, because this is part of my job, is getting on here and talking to everybody, because this is my YouTube page and I got to get paid, y'all. I got to get bread. I don't want to get my car repoed, man. I know you feel my pain. You want to see this refrigerator. It is all water, bruv. It's just water. I don't eat. I only eat when people buy my beats. That's it. That's when I eat. And I got to, all my money goes to my boy, right? I got to make sure that my boy's strong. So that means I don't eat, y'all. I'm a starving artist. And I mean, I'm a starving artist, man. So I only eat when people pay me. That's just how it works. No, obviously I'm being kind of facetious, or what is it called, the word facetious, or I don't know. I'm just playing. I'm playing to a certain extent. I'm halfway serious and I'm halfway joking at the same time. No, yeah. In order for me to do this, of course, if you guys want me to respond, you got to drop that super chat. You gotta feed T-Sway, put some money on my books, G. Yeah, man. I'm from these streets, man. I gotta dress it up. I gotta look nice, but I'm from the streets. I come from hard times, bruv. That's the reality of my life. How did I make it? How did I make it out the hood? Well, the beats. I make beats, but I come from government housing. I come from welfare check. That's how I grew up. I come from not much, very humble beginnings. That's the reality. So I got to get it for my family. And in order for me to do this, y'all got to drop the bag. You got to drop the bag for me to keep doing this. You know what I mean? So, everybody appreciates a little comedy every once in a while. You know what I mean? Got to get that paper. Got to get that PAPER. You know what I mean? So people ask, why do I go on social media? Because I'm trying to get paid, bruv. No, but for real, obviously I'm super passionate about this R&B music. I've been putting music out way before I even got money out. Everybody knows, y'all know I'm joking to a certain extent. I've always put music out for everybody long before there was any money. Check my YouTube, check the receipts of my YouTube. I've been dropping videos for y'all for 17 years. I've been doing this. I was dropping videos in my mom's apartment, bro. That's how long I've been doing this. So that is love. That, my friends, is just passion, love and obsession for this music game. Just the love. You know what I mean? I still need to get paid though, but the obsession with the R&B, with the music, has kept me doing this. Also the obsession with changing my family's life, that propels me as well. That's another emotion that propels me, is the chance to change my family's life. And that's what it is. So shout out to the people that supported today's show. I truly appreciate y'all. I really mean that, because y'all just bought my kids bought my boy a Happy Meal. So I appreciate that. You know what I mean? So we out here. When the beats ain't selling, I'm hopping on stream. But I appreciate you guys. No, for real. So I'm lucky to do this. But yeah, man, just growing up, we were, people who are close to my age, you've been blessed to see, the romantic era of R&B. And like I said, we grew up with a lot of great music. And today, the R&B music climate, the R&B music climate, the topic of discussion is not really romance anymore. It's not so much romance, although there is a few artists that are doing romantic. I can't say it's 100% gone. There is some artists out there, like I mentioned, like a Sabrina Claudio. She is, she still does romantic songs here as well. Believe it or not, like there's people, there still is people, even like a Summer Walker, right? She's like a mix between, she does toxic R&B and she kind of does romantic here and there. So she had that recent song, Heart of a Woman. That's more traditional romantic R&B. That's more, you know what I mean? That's more heartfelt. That it's more 90s adjacent R&B. So shout out to her. So she kind of straddles the fence of being toxic and kind of the old school era as well. So shout out to Summer Walker. I think she does it really well. Yeah, man. So I would still, like, as far as my songs that I drop as artists, because I still drop songs as artists here and there, but I'm dropping more, and I actually drop instrumental albums more so. So if you go on Tony Sway, if you go look up Tony Sway on Spotify, you're gonna get all crazy amount of like instrumental albums. But my subject matter, if I had to rate myself, I'm somewhere in between the romantic era, not so much toxic, but my recent music is more of it's more baby making. So that's what I'd coin my music is more. It's more baby making R&B than anything, not toxic, but just definitely more of the baby making kind of genre for sure. So yeah, man. But we've been blessed to grow up on some of the greatest R&B ever. If you grew up in the 90s, you've seen everything. We had Bobby Brown, we had Mariah Carey, we had all this this amazing, incredible music, Jodeci's, Albie Shores, John B's, and even hip hop artists were incorporating R&B, like Bone Thugs and Harmony. We grew up in a really, really great era, you know what I mean? So, I feel lucky and blessed to grow up in that particular era where the R&B music was so rich in melody at that time, and it was so rich in the subject matter, and the lyrical matter was like, it was just very there was just a lot of substance in the lyrics and a lot of emotion in the melodies back then. So I don't know. That's just something that I pay attention to is how the music makes you feel and what they're saying. How does it make you feel? And, what are they saying? And, that's just what it is. You know what I mean? So, but that's not to say that there isn't music out there right now that isn't dope. There's definitely new R&B music that's dope. People just got to give it a chance. You just got to give it a chance. You know what I mean? So, and that's just the reality of it. But yeah, man. So, drop y'all thoughts and what you guys think about, this toxic R&B era versus the romantic era. Also, do you believe that the romantic R&B era can make a kind of a comeback? Do you guys believe there'll ever be a song again that's of the romantic nature that people gravitate towards? Or do you think that era is just over? Because I think the music obviously, it reflects the times, it reflects, what we're living in, you know what I mean? So it reflects the culture, the music reflects the culture. The R&B music is reflecting the culture and what's going on in the world, you know what I mean? So I think it would be very tough for like a romantic R&B song to blow up in this day and age, but it'll still happen, but it's just not the norm. I guess that's what I'd say. It's just not the norm, really. So you got people like the Daniel Caesars, her, Her, you know what I mean? Occasionally people like that will drop a romantic record. It's not their forte. They're not going to do it all the time, but they do have songs. Like I know her and Daniel Caesar, they have a song, a super big song on Spotify I think it's called Best Part of Me. that came out already years ago, but that was obviously maybe, I don't know if I have the title right, actually. I think y'all know what I'm talking about, though. This Daniel Caesar and her, they had like a really big record where it's just acoustic, and that I think I think it's around 1 billion streams maybe on Spotify. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's either around 1 billion streams or over it. But that was a very, very big record for streams. And it was a romantic, it's like a wedding song, really. It's, you know, wedding song, romantic song, you know what I mean? So, and I appreciate everybody hanging out here with me in the chats. If you want me to respond, just make sure you drop a super chat, just like Czar and Bubble Creations. If you want me to respond, make sure you drop a super chat like they did, because your boy gots to eat. I know y'all don't expect me to keep dropping beats and getting on the live stream while I'm starving. I gotta eat, y'all. I gotta eat. You know what I mean? So that's the reality of life, right? So we gotta eat, we gotta get paid. And I know some of y'all at your job right now, and I appreciate y'all tuning in. And if you rock with this Tony Sway, if you appreciate my beats, with me, really me. No, I'm just playing. But yeah, if you really rock with the Tony Sway beats and what I'm doing in my songs, make sure you put some money on that super chat. Put some money on my books so I can make sure that my son's good. Make sure that wifey's good. Make sure that I can keep bringing y'all this music. I just ordered a new keyboard as well. You know what I mean? I just the Moog Muse. I just ordered the Moog Muse, y'all. So that's a you know, that was a $3,160 purchase. I bought a demo unit. I got it as a demo unit. It had a couple $100 waived off, and I got it from Perfect Circuit. So shout out to Perfect Circuit, perfectcircuit.com. They're out there in Burbank, California. They have a really incredible store. And if you buy from their website, they won't charge you sales tax. So just a little note to you producers out there buying equipment, go get your gear at Perfect Circuit. They ain't going to charge you a sale tax. And I mean, I guess if you live in Oregon, it don't matter. But I was getting taxed up the yin yang from all other websites. I'm talking about buying keyboards for $4,000, and then they put another $400 that you got to pay. Forget that, man. From this point on, I'm only shopping with Perfect Circuit. They don't have sales tax, and they're making my life so much easier. So I picked up that Moog Muse. It will be here on Friday. I'll do an unboxing video for you guys. And I got a chance to demo the Moog Muse. Luckily, they have a synthesizer shop down the street from where I'm at. And man, I got a chance to demo that in person on the headphones. And let me tell you, the pad sounds on there are absolutely mind-blowing. I was like, whoa. Like, some of the demos on YouTube don't really do it justice. I went and played some R&B chords on there, and you know, inside the shop on the Moog Muse, and I was literally blown away by some of the sounds on there. So shout out to Moog, man. There's still, you know, Moog is still making great keyboards. So you got to, you know, I recommend to all my beat makers and all my producers out there, check out that Moog Muse, man. It's pretty special. So it's about to be in the studio right here, cooking up in the kitchen on Friday. So I'm going to be making some records with the Moog Muse, baby. And I had to get rid of the Kumar Spirit. It kept breaking down. I had 2 Kumar Spirit synthesizers. They both broke. And so Perfect Circuit they gave me a full refund, full cash refund. I took that money and I bought the Moog Muse with it. So I got the Moog Muse on the way. And hopefully another keyboard that I'm going to get this year. It's called the Magnolia 8-voice polyphonic synthesizer, and it's made in Italy, and it's by a company called Frap Tools, and that will be probably my last keyboard purchase of the year. These are all tax write-offs, so I get to write all these off. That's a side note to people making beats full-time. Make sure you write off all your gear, all your stuff, all the money that you invest to make beats, write that off. Because it saved me a lot, and I've finally paid off the IRS because I've been writing stuff off so much I finally managed to pay off my complete debt. As of now, I owe them nothing. So that shout out to my tax guy. But yes, so the Moog Muse is on the way to the studio this Friday. And hopefully before the end of the year, I also will purchase the Magnolia 8-voice analog FM synthesizer, which is crazy as well. And then after that, that'll probably be everything. I probably won't purchase anything for a long time because I pretty much got all the keyboards that I want at that point. And anybody who knows me, if you've been with me for a little while, you've probably seen just about every keyboard on my channel. So the keyboards that I had 5 years ago, I've sold every single one of them is gone because I like to update my sound every couple of years. I like to update my sound. So the only keyboard that I still have that I had a couple of years ago is the Prophet 6. So Prophet 6 is probably the only one I still have. But all the other keyboards is all new gear because I need new sounds in my life, and you know what I mean. But yeah. But hey, anybody that if I haven't responded to your comment, it's only because you haven't dropped a super chat. So let me see them super chats, people. What, you ain't got no love for the East Coast and West Coast? Ain't got no love for T Sway? Well, let it be known then. You ain't got no love for T Sway. Let it be known. I know where I'm at. Hey, I'm old, y'all. You don't remember who remembers the Source Awards where Snoop Dogg? Who remembers the Source Awards where Snoop Dogg got up when he got up for Death Row? He went to the stage and I think they were in New York. And this is the classic Source Awards where Suge Knight, he called out Diddy. He was dissing Diddy. I mean, I'm older, y'all, so maybe you guys don't remember this if you're a little young. But if you were around for the classic Source Awards, where Suge Knight was there with Snoop Dogg and DJ Quick, and Snoop Dogg got up on stage and he was like, "Y'all ain't got no love for Snoop Dogg and Death Row." If you just had to be. If you were there, if you know, you know. If you know, you know. But I was alive at that time. That was my era. And I had the Doggy Style CD was playing nonstop in my room. That's all I listened to. When I was 12, all I was listening to was Snoop Dogg, Above the Rim soundtrack, Warren G, Spice One. It wasn't just when I was growing up. It wasn't just R&B. I definitely had my time where it was just all about the West Coast G-Funk. And that's what I was into when I was 11, 12, 13. So I was listening to that Doggy Style album. I was listening to, Tupac, Me Against the World CD, All Eyes on Me. Hey, Major, was good. I appreciate you. I was listening to, I was a West Coast guy, right? Some of my friends were more of East Coast. But I was more of the West Coast hip hop guy. Before R&B was like my main genre of choice, I was the West Coast hip hop kid when I was a teenager. So it was all about that DJ Quick. It was all about, Snoop Dogg. It was all about that Warren G. It was all about Tupac. It was all about, all the West Coast people that were doing it on a high level. And that's just what I listened to when I was growing up. And some of you guys can hear that in my production. You'll hear I like to use synthesizer lead sounds a lot it's just because I grew up listening to, DJ Quick, It's Safe and Sound. If you listen to DJ Quick's production in the mid 90s, it was all about that synthesizer, that sine lead, that's, pulse lead, all those lead sounds, those Yamaha synthesizers and stuff. It was all about that sound. And to this day, I still have that sound in my beats. You're always going to hear, if you're listening to a beat from me, you're always going to hear some kind of sine lead or some kind of synthesizer lead sound because it's the era that I grew up on. That's just the era that I grew up on, man. So, yeah. But if you're just tuning in, make sure you drop that super chat for your boy, Tony Sway. I am a starving artist. And I only eat when people support me. I do music full time. You know what I mean? So I'm not ashamed to say it. Music is my only business. So that's all so if I fall off, you're gonna see me outside like easy, like the guy dressed as Eazy-E in the Dr. Dre video. You know, Dre Day. Y'all gonna see me like outside like Dre Day with the sign that says I will play for food. That's no. Shout out to Eazy-E, man. But so I need y'all to drop that super chat. Help me get that rollie. I ain't got a rollie yet, but I will one day. So drop that super chat, show some support for your boy T Sway, or at least like and share the video, or grab some beats, 1 for $20 at TonySwayMusic.com, or go over and get yourself a sample pack. Producers, I got the dope R&B sample packs for you. You know what I mean? Got all, the smooth R&B Sade type sound packs that you can go TonySwayMusic.com right now. And if you own a UDO Super 6, I got a preset pack for you. You can upload directly to your synthesizer. If you own a Moog 1, I got a preset pack for you, that goes directly you can upload directly to the Moog 1. So I got preset packs for the UDO Super 6 and the Moog 1. So if you have any of those keyboards, head on over to TonySwayMusic.com right now. Get yourself a preset pack if you own any of those boards. I've made a decent amount of sales. You guys won't believe some of the people that's bought the preset packs. I literally have legendary hip hop artists that are buying sound packs from me, which is crazy. I have a really, really famous East Coast hip hop artist that's bought, I won't say his name. I don't know if you guys can try to guess who it might be, but I have a very, very well-respected, famous hip hop artist that's bought my Moog 1 preset pack. And I wonder if you guys can figure out who it is. I won't say who it is, but I want to see if you guys can guess. A very famous hip hop artist, super famous and well-respected, bought my Moog 1 preset pack for their studio, which was an honor to me. And that was crazy it's crazy when you find out legendary people are consuming your product. That is absolutely insane. So I appreciate everybody. I'm starting to lose my voice, y'all. You got to put down that money. Put some money on my books. I'm losing my voice. Come on. I sing as well. I'm losing my voice doing this. I don't know how these people live stream for hours and hours like that, but I'm trying to get a bag, y'all. I'm trying to get that money up. I'm trying to get it right. Nah, not Battle Cat. Not Battle Cat. But yeah, who can guess what hip hop artists do you guys think they're from New York? That's the only clue. It's East Coast. I have a very famous New York hip hop artist and songwriter that's purchased my Moog 1 preset pack. These guys are well-respected. It's somebody who's super well-respected. And it kind of blew my mind that they were buying my product, because I'm like, man, that's crazy. Like I wouldn't know how to get in touch with these people, even though I know famous people. I'll be honest, y'all. Famous people, even if you make connects with them, they're not always, inviting you to things. I haven't got an invite to anything in a while, and that's not a disrespect to my famous friends, but I'll just be honest. They haven't invited me to anything in a while, and I'm gonna go upside their head when I see them. I'm just playing, but yeah, be careful with famous friends, man. They be lying. Yeah, that's just a lot of famous people be lying, blowing sunshine, telling you, I'm gonna do this for you. Yeah, I'm gonna blow you up, dog. And you ain't heard from them. But you will hear from them when you get a hit record, which is kind of funny, right? You always hear why is it that you hear from people when you're back up? I hate that about people, bro. What is wrong with people? Why do people reach out to you when you're back up? They go, oh yeah, I seen you got 14 million views on your video. I was just, yeah, what's that money look like? So, man, but I ain't saying no names. because I know a decent amount of famous people. So I ain't saying any names, but you guys don't be keeping your word, man. And I ain't gonna be like y'all. Treat people nice, treat people with respect, be a good person. But some people in this industry, man, they just blow sunshine, and they tell you what you want to hear so they can get what they want out of you, and then they don't do nothing. They won't do nothing in return. Nothing, no favors and nothing. All the people that I've met, bro, all the people I've met, bro, come on, like, the industry is fake as it gets. I'm telling you, bro. I've kicked it in mansions in LA and kicking, you know what I mean? So it's like, people be fake, man. They don't, it's not genuine. You know what I mean? It is what it is, though. It is what it is. And I won't say people's names, but y'all be fake, though. And it's cool because they think that I don't notice. Y'all don't think that I don't know that you're fake. What is it with people? They think that you're stupid or something, that you don't see that they're fake. Yeah, I know you're using me. Yeah, I know you're trying to cut me out of my publishing. That's why I don't speak to you anymore. And I don't, you know what I mean? There's some really shisty people in the industry that they will try to use you up. And I'm just waiting for them to blow up with one of my records so I can take them to court. Because if anybody knows anything about me, I am not a stranger to a lawyer. I've gotten money out of people that try to wrong me. I won't say the names. Shout out to the people making me money, but I'm just waiting for there's a couple people in this industry who have taken advantage of me. I'm just waiting for those records to blow up so I can clean them out. I can't wait, clean you guys out, because I can, and I've done it before. So anybody that wrongs me in this industry, I'm coming for those pockets, bro. That is a threat, by the way. It is a threat. You might think I'm joking around, but I'm coming for those pockets, bro. If you try to take the T-Sway melody and you cut me out of the publishing because you think I'm a nice guy, I'm coming at you, bro. Don't let this light skin fool you. I'm coming at you. And I ain't coming at you with hands. I'm coming at you with the lawyers, bruv. You don't want that. I'm coming at you with lawyers. And I'm getting that money. Because they think brothers don't know how to use a lawyer. Brothers know how to get a lawyer, bro. Come on, man. I know I have a great lawyer. He's gotten me big money before. I've spent most of that money. I ain't gonna lie, I've spent it. But my lawyer has got me big money. So people think that they could take advantage of people like me because I'm on YouTube and it's not like I have really, really solid, I don't have super solid friendships in the industry. I have a little bit of friendships, but again, they're not the greatest friendships because most of these people in the industry are fake anyways. Like, they ain't got no real love. It's all fake. It's all fake there. It's all usury. And if anybody's offended at this, come at me, brother. They think T-Sway, they think that I'm soft, but I'm not, bro. I'm from people don't know where I'm from, man. They don't know. People have no idea of the life that I had. I'm the nicest, put it this way, I'm the nicest guy from my kind of situation. The people that I was around were horrible, bro. The people that I grew up, my influences were horrible. But somehow it was my influences that told me to go another way. The people that were doing all the bad things, that were popping people, it was those people that said, hey, don't do this. Those people said, don't do what I'm doing. You could do something greater. And that's the life that I come from. I come from crazy people, bro. But don't think for a second that isn't part of who I am. It's when you're from a bad situation, that situation doesn't leave you. It never leaves you. So I just tend to use that emotion when it's necessary. What it really is fight or flight. Anybody that's had a hard life, you know what I'm talking about. It's a lot easier to snap into fight or flight when you've had a hard life. So for me, I have a very sensitive fight or flight response to things in life. So, but I've trained it to only use it in situations where it's necessary. So again, if somebody's stealing my music, I'm going to a lawyer. That's a fight or flight response for me. right? Because some people are scared to go to a lawyer because they don't want. I know a lot of musicians on YouTube right now who literally talk about being scared to use a lawyer. So there's a lot of people, especially in the, in general, there's a lot of people, especially people of color, who are scared to use a lawyer. Don't be scared, bro. You know what I mean? I'll be the light-skinned guy that says it. Like, I was scared, but I still did it. And guess what? I was calling LA. I was calling all these people. These people were rejecting me, saying, we're not interested in helping you. We don't know who you are. Yeah, and that's what happened. But I finally reached somebody that was like, hey, I deal with cases just like this every day. I'll help you. And they got me the big bucks. And they've got me the big bucks multiple times. So shout out to my lawyer, man. But a lot of people, unfortunately, especially in the Black community, unfortunately, and the minority communities. I don't want to make it about race, but I can't escape my background. It is who I am. So mixed race individual. I don't have any kind of connections. I wasn't taught how to make money. I come from the welfare, bro. So imagine this: a welfare kid figures out how to get his money, how to get a lawyer, how to get hundreds of thousands of dollars from a company that tried to steal his song. Imagine that I was able to do that. And I'm letting people know that if you want to steal my music, I'm coming for you. And that goes to anybody that I know, any famous friends that think that they can play with me. I don't care if I know you. If you wrong me, I'm coming for your neck, bro. And that's the real T Sway. If people really want to know what I'm about, the real T Sway, I don't play about my money. So if you try to take my publishing or you try to steal my music, I don't even care about, I'm not trying to fight nobody. I don't got nothing to prove. I'm coming for your pocketbooks is what I'm going to do. And you're going to regret it. And if you don't like me afterwards, bro, I said I'm from the streets and I'm not scared of anybody. So if you hurt my pocketbooks or you try to take from me feeding my son, I have nothing to lose. That's the thing about people who are from the streets. We have nothing to lose. That's why we're dangerous, right? Because we have nothing to lose. I don't have anything to lose. I don't come from anything, bro. So if you try to take the little that I have, which is my music that I use to feed my son, I'm coming for you. So don't touch what's my intellectual property, right? Don't steal my music, because don't think for 1 second that I'm your friend. I'm coming for your pocketbooks. And hey, they know who I'm talking to. Don't play with me. I ain't scared of any of you. If you play with my money, I'm coming for you. And I hope that all you other music producers and musicians have that same mindset. Do not let people play with your money, bro. Do not get taken advantage, because people anybody who knows me knows that I'm one of the nicest. I'm really a nice guy to people. Most people don't know my other side until they try to take money out of my pocket. Then you see my other side. But I don't go to the streets with my problems. I'm not trying to hurt nobody. I don't advocate for hurting nobody. I go directly to my lawyer, and my lawyer handles my business for me. I do my dirty work in the courtroom to get my paper, like 50 Cent. Like, everybody knows not to play with 50 Cent, not because he's not trying to physically hurt you. He's going to take you to court and get his money. And that's the way that I am. So if you try to come against me and my family by taking my music, there's people that I've gave music, I've done favors for, and they just take my music and put it out, and they don't give me my publishing, and they act like I forgot. But if any of those records take off, I'm coming for you guys' pockets. I don't care if you think I'm your friend or not. I'm coming for you. Just like Mike Tyson, I'm coming for you, Lennox Lewis. I'm coming for you. So don't think. And I'm sorry if you guys have to witness this, but I'm a fine line between comedy and going crazy. That's if you really know me, that's who I am. That's why I'm able to make this emotional music. And I'm a fine line of laughing and then exploding on. That's just who I am. But not in a crazy way, though. I don't hurt people. I don't do anything. I'm a nice guy. But like I said, The only thing that makes me angry is when people try to take my music and profit. And it's not even the underground people. Most of the time, it's these fake celebrities that try to think they're above you. Meanwhile, I got more plays and streams than some of these people, and they think that they are above me in some kind of way. Just watch, wait. If you steal my music and I see if you steal my music and one of your records just happens to blow up, I am coming for your pocketbooks, bro, with my lawyer. And I would recommend that any musician would do the same. So I highly recommend it. There is nothing wrong with what I'm saying right now. I'm advocating for every musician to stand up for their musical rights. If somebody blows up with your music, you better call a lawyer. And if there's anybody that this has happened to that's listening to my video, get in touch with me and I'll point you in the direction of a good music lawyer. I have an excellent music lawyer who's got me a bag probably at least 3 times. He's got me at least 3 big checks. So it's real. It's real in the field. And I don't apologize for what I'm talking about, because it is kind of an emotional topic, because it has to do with everybody, a musician's survival. Sometimes there's going to be people that steal your music. If you don't stand up for yourself and hire a lawyer, you're going to be, there ain't going to be nothing you can do unless you get involved legally. And as scary as it seems, this is only if you have a legit hit song. If you have a legit hit song that you're not being paid for, you need to get in touch with the lawyer. I don't care about any excuses. You got to get in touch with the lawyer, because you're literally missing out on the bag. And these companies and these fake celebrities, they will steal your music and not think twice, because you're not standing up for yourself. And people were surprised of how I acted towards the labels and the on the phone and the managers. They thought I was a nice guy. I was cussing these people out on the phone. I said, you better give me my money. You don't know me. And that's just the reality. When it comes down to survival, this is survival of the fittest. And you can't let people steal what's yours. And there's a lot of YouTube musicians and people, we're in the basement, we're in our houses, we're in the bedroom, we're making beats. And a lot of us are not standing up for our intellectual property. You have to stand up towards it. You have to do it. People are going to call you broke. They're going to call you, hey, you are nobody. Who cares? You know what I mean? I'm telling you, I've come from a situation of nothing. I have nothing to lose. So anything that I've got has been from music. And if people try to take it from me, I'm sicking my lawyer on you. So don't get it twisted. And there's nothing in particular right in this moment. I know it sounds like I'm talking about something that's happening right now. I'm talking about more so past things. But this is just a warning shot to people that think it's funny to steal my music. I am coming for you. Don't think that I won't. And I'm not any kind of violent or physical way, but I'm coming for you with a lawyer. So if I catch you with my music and you making money, I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you, Lennox Lewis. I'm coming for you. So yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys can appreciate my rant. I like to rant every once in a while. A good rant is nice. Get it out of your system. It's just good. And again, it's positive. You know what I mean? Sometimes there's a little, sometimes you got to get that out of your system. You got to let people know where you stand. You got to stand up for yourself. So we live in a world where if you don't stand up for yourself, you're not going to make it. You got to teach your kids to stand up for themselves. You got to stand up, because we live in a dog-eat-dog world. If you don't stand up for yourself, things are going to go wrong. So me personally, if I didn't stand up for myself, there's a bunch of checks that I would have never got if I would have just played the back door, if I would have just laid down and let people stomp me out. Instead, I got up, I found a lawyer. I didn't let these labels take advantage of me. I got paid. So I'm an advocate for artists standing up for themselves. So that's what it is. And I appreciate everybody. It looks like people are off the chat now. Maybe I scared y'all away because I got a little angry, but that's just me though. Hey, sometimes musicians, we are crazy. We're a little bit crazy. It is what it is. So I'm not going to tell you that I'm not a little crazy, bro. You think the songs that I make come from a sane mind. I am a little crazy. That's just the reality. None of you would be normal if you've seen the things that I've seen growing up. None of you would be normal. That's just the way. I can't be normal because my life was crazy when I grew up. So that's why I can do the music like I do, because I've felt every emotion that you could feel pretty much. And so, hey, this is me, and I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I really want to shout out to all the donations today. Shout out to Button Creations. Shout out to Czar. I appreciate you guys for donating. Shame on you for the people who didn't. No, I'm just playing. Hey, if you haven't donated, make sure you at least like and share the video. Or the very least you could do is go grab a beat or a sound pack or a preset pack at tonysweatmusic.com. Please support me in any way possible, because again, I come from nothing, y'all. I come from the hood. I come from government housing. My dad and my grandpa are ex-cons. Rest in peace to my grandpa. So my grandpa is a famous musician, but he's also an ex-con. But he passed away a couple years ago. So rest in peace to my grandpa, Sonny Simmons. And I've had a hard life. I'm not gonna try to say I've had the perfect life. I've had a hard life, and music is really all I got, y'all. Music is all I got. It's the only thing that's kept me going for the last ever since 2010. So what is that? Coming on 15, 16 years. So music's made sure that I've had a place to live, equipment, food in my son's mouth. It's helped me survive. You know what I mean? So I appreciate anybody that supports. And if you're going to watch this video on the playback, just know that I love you and I appreciate you. Don't take my intense conversation as me being, I do these intense conversations out of love, because I want to see people win. I want to see other musicians get what they deserve. I don't want to see people's music be stolen from them and just they just back down and don't do anything about it. If you do have a song that's blown up, I want to see you get your money, and I want to see you hire a lawyer to get your paper right, because that's what I had to do, and it worked. So I'm here for y'all. I appreciate you. I love you guys. And yeah, so that's about it. So make sure you get your super chats in, click like on that video. And that's what it is. So it was nice talking to you guys. I appreciate all the supporters, everybody tuning in. And today was real. I appreciate y'all. God bless y'all. Peace.